Beloved one, hear these words with the ears of your spirit, for they are forged not from human breath, but from the fire of unshakable truth. A moment approaches, swift as a shadow and certain as dawn, when a mysterious black bag will be placed at your door. Do not fear the color, nor the mystery, nor the weight of what arrives, for the darkness of the bag does not testify to the darkness within, it testifies to the misunderstanding of those who deliver it. They believe they bring uncertainty. But heaven has permitted this moment for your strengthening. What does the bag contain? It contains your next assignment from the realms of light. It contains the tools you once prayed for, hidden in forms you did not expect. It contains awakening, locked in a riddle. It contains proof that you are ready for the next level of your calling. For nothing reaches your doorstep without passing first through the gates of the Almighty. Stand firm. Do not tremble before the unknown. The enemy uses shadows to intimidate. The divine uses shadows to reveal your courage. When you open that bag, whether literally or figuratively, you will find the following: strength you didn't know you had, wisdom you thought had abandoned you, a summons to rise higher than the battle that tried to bury you, a mantle of authority you were always meant to carry. For you are not fragile clay, you are a vessel tempered by celestial fire. Let this be known. You are not standing alone at that doorway. You are surrounded by unseen warriors who have defended your nights, guided your steps, and shielded your destiny from every plot set against you. Where fear whispers uncertainly, the host of heaven roars, "Stand, for you were born for this hour." No weapon formed against your purpose shall prosper. No darkness placed at your door can overpower the light placed in your soul. No unexpected delivery can derail the path written for you before the foundations of the earth. So open the bag with calm authority. Open it with the knowledge that you are defended. Open it with the certainty that the divine does not bring confusion, but clarity disguised as challenge. And when you lift its contents to the light, a truth will echo through your spirit. This was never meant to harm me. This was meant to awaken me. Let that awakening begin. What arrives at your door is permitted for your strengthening, not your destruction. This truth stands like a pillar in a world that often feels unpredictable, where events seem to fall upon us without warning or explanation. But there is a deeper order beneath what appears to be chaos, a sovereign orchestration in which nothing is allowed to reach you, unless it has already been filtered, measured, and repurposed for your rise. Even the things that appear dark, inconvenient, or heavy carry within them a hidden assignment for your growth. When something unexpected is placed before you, especially something that feels unsettling, the first instinct may be to recoil, to assume that harm approaches. But harm is not permitted to reach the one who walks under divine guardianship without first being transformed into a tool of empowerment. What you perceive as a threat may actually be the very element required to strengthen the foundations of who you are becoming. Consider the nature of trials. They never arrive wrapped in beauty or clarity. They approach disguised as problems, challenges, or mysteries. But their purpose is never destruction. Their purpose is to carve capacity into you, to expose the dormant abilities that would remain hidden if life only handed you comfort. Strength cannot grow without resistance. Wisdom cannot bloom without questions. Endurance cannot emerge without pressure. And purpose cannot mature without moments that ask something more of you than you have ever been asked to give. That is why what arrives at your door is not random, not accidental, and certainly not meant to break you. It is permitted because you are ready for what it will require. This readiness is not always felt. Often the soul feels unprepared in the moments meant to reveal its bravery. Courage rarely feels like courage when you are standing before what you did not expect. Strength does not feel like strength when it is first tested. Yet the very fact that something has reached you means that you already carry what is necessary to withstand it. The divine does not allow challenges to arrive where there is no capacity to overcome them. If something reaches your doorstep, whether physical, emotional, spiritual, or symbolic, it is a sign that the time has come for another layer of your potential to unfold. This is why fear must not be your first interpreter. Fear exaggerates what it does not understand. Fear mislabels every unfamiliar container as danger. Fear tells you that the unfamiliar is out to destroy you, when in truth, the unfamiliar is often the birthplace of transformation. If you respond through fear, you shrink away from opportunities disguised as obstacles. But if you respond through trust, through the quiet knowing that nothing reaches you without purpose, the entire meaning of the moment changes. You begin to see the mysterious arrival not as a threat, but as a delivery of growth. Strengthening comes in many forms. Sometimes it arrives as a challenge that builds your resilience. Sometimes it appears as a truth that forces you to confront what you have avoided. Sometimes it manifests as a responsibility that stretches your maturity. And sometimes it comes as a test that reveals how far you have already come. The form may be uncomfortable, but the function is sacred. The arrival at your door is not there to crush you. It is there to prepare you for the next phase of your journey. There is also a divine timing at work. Things do not show up early, when you are unprepared, nor late, when the moment has passed. They come precisely when your spirit is capable of handling them, even if your emotions lag behind. You may say, "I'm not ready." Yet readiness is not measured by how you feel. Readiness is measured by what has already been placed within you. And far more has been planted in you than you realize. When the moment comes, when the mysterious thing is set before you, the crucial shift happens not in the external world, but within your inner posture. Do you see it as an end or a beginning? Do you see it as danger or invitation? Do you see it as destruction or strengthening? Your interpretation determines your experience. If you assume it is meant to destroy you, you empower fear. But if you understand that it is permitted for your strengthening, you step into a place of authority, clarity, and calm. This inner posture is the key. It is what allows you to face the unfamiliar without trembling. It is what turns tests into triumphs and obstacles into elevation. It is what allows you to open the door not with dread, but with discernment. The strongest warriors are not those who avoid challenges, they are those who meet challenges with the understanding that nothing sent their way is strong enough to undo the purpose placed within them. What arrives may stretch you, but it will not shatter you. It may challenge your peace, but it will not steal your destiny. It may require more of you, but it will not reduce you. Every trial you have weathered before this moment has built layers within you, layers of courage, layers of endurance, layers of spiritual muscle, so that when this arrival comes, you are not left defenseless, but equipped. And so when something dark, mysterious, or unexpected appears at your door, do not let your heart leap toward panic. Let it settle into understanding. Let it recognize that this moment is not an attack, it is an assignment. It is not a curse, it is a catalyst. It is not destruction, it is preparation for a greater unfolding of who you were always meant to be. You are not fragile. You are not at the mercy of chance. You are guided, guarded, and strengthened with every step. Whatever arrives, arrives with permission. And permission is only granted when growth is the outcome. This is why you need not fear the arrival. This is why you need not dread the unknown. What stands at your door is not your undoing. It is your becoming. The unknown carries the tools you once prayed for, wrapped in unexpected form. This truth unfolds itself quietly, like a revelation waiting at the edges of your awareness. Many of the things you have asked for, strength, clarity, confidence, breakthrough, elevation, do not descend from heaven in polished, recognizable shapes. They do not arrive with clear labels or comforting explanations. Instead, they take on forms that challenge your assumptions. They come dressed in mystery, wrapped in discomfort, or disguised as change that feels inconvenient to your familiar world. And yet within these unfamiliar shapes lie the very answers you once spoke into the silence. There is a divine irony in how prayers are answered. When you ask for courage, you are given situations that summon courage from within. When you ask for wisdom, you are placed before decisions that force wisdom to rise. When you pray for strength, you encounter moments that demand strength you did not know you had. The tools you need do not float toward you as gentle gifts. They are forged through the pressure of growth. And so the unknown becomes the delivery system for the very things your soul has requested. This is why the unknown must not be dismissed or feared. It is not an empty void, it is fertile ground. It holds the raw materials of your transformation. It conceals the resources that cannot be developed within the comfort of knowing. To know everything, to predict everything, to control everything, this would strip life of its power to mold you. But the unknown, in its unpredictability, becomes the workshop where your spiritual architecture is refined. There is something sacred about what you cannot see yet. The unseen carries potential. The unfamiliar carries opportunity. The uncertain carries hidden answers. The very fact that you cannot immediately recognize the purpose of what arrives is often proof that it is meant to stretch you into new understanding. If you recognized everything instantly, you would never grow beyond your current horizon. But the unknown invites you to rise into deeper discernment, to lean into trust rather than fear, and to embrace the unfolding of your destiny instead of clinging to the safety of habit. When the unknown approaches, it rarely looks like a blessing at first glance. It may appear chaotic or unsettling. It may feel like a disruption rather than a gift. But this is because growth often disguises itself as disturbance. Before a seed transforms into a tree, the soil above it must be broken. Before dawn breaks the night, the world must shift from darkness to light. Transformation always disrupts the atmosphere before it reveals its purpose. So do not misjudge the unknown simply because it looks unfamiliar. Everything unfamiliar is not dangerous. Some of it is divine. You prayed for more, even if you didn't realize it in the moment. You prayed for a higher version of yourself. You prayed for a life that reflects purpose more deeply. You prayed for better days, stronger faith, sharper insight, and a spirit that cannot be easily shaken. Those prayers have been heard, and the unknown carries the tools that will shape you into the person who can hold the blessings you have asked for. But here is the part many do not understand. You cannot receive greater blessings while holding on to lesser versions of yourself. To step into the fulfillment of your prayers, you must become the person capable of carrying them with maturity and vision, and the unknown is what chisels you into that person. It is the process that equips you for what you have asked for. It stretches your capacity, strengthens your endurance, deepens your character, and tunes your discernment. The blessings you desire require a stronger vessel, and the unknown builds that vessel. The unknown also removes things that no longer serve you. It clears space for the tools you need. Sometimes it rearranges your life unexpectedly, so that what you prayed for has room to manifest. You may not have understood the shifts at the time, but every rearrangement was intentional. Every detour carried purpose. Every closed door protected you. Every new circumstance, even the uncomfortable ones, introduced you to a hidden tool: patience, resilience, faith, intuition, confidence, spiritual authority, or refinement of vision. Often these tools are subtle at first. They do not announce themselves. They reveal themselves through lived experience. You look back later and realize that what once felt confusing was actually equipping you. What once felt like loss was preparing you. What once felt like uncertainty was unfolding your destiny with precision. Life does not hand you the finished tool directly. It gives you the conditions under which that tool can be forged. And so the unknown becomes less of a threat and more of a sacred messenger. It carries not danger, but potential. Not loss, but preparation. Not confusion, but evolution. When the unknown stands at your door, it is worth remembering that you have not been abandoned to randomness. You are standing in the presence of something purposeful, even if it is not yet clear. The unknown invites you to trust the process of becoming. It invites you to hold steady while life rearranges itself in your favor. It invites you to lean into divine timing, rather than demanding immediate clarity. It invites you to believe that what you cannot see yet is working on your behalf. Every great transformation begins with uncertainty. Every great story begins with a moment that feels unfamiliar. The unknown is simply the prelude to the breakthrough you asked for. And so you must approach the unknown not with fear but with a quiet authority, with the confidence that you are not walking into emptiness, but into an unfolding plan, with the understanding that the tools you need are already being placed in your hands, through challenge, through opportunity, through mystery, through change. The unfamiliar is not your enemy. It is the answer to your prayers dressed in a form you must grow into recognizing. When you face the unknown, remind yourself, this is not a threat. This is equipment. This is preparation. This is the sculpting of the person I am becoming. The unknown is carrying my tools. And soon, what feels unclear will become the clarity I was waiting for. You are surrounded by unseen protection as you face what comes. This truth is not a poetic comfort. It is a spiritual reality woven into every moment of your existence. Even when you feel alone, abandoned, or uncertain, you are not moving through the world unguarded. There is a presence that walks with you, ahead of you, behind you, and around you, shaping outcomes you cannot yet perceive. Much of this protection is invisible to your natural eyes, but your life bears the evidence of it in ways you may not even recognize. There are dangers you never met because they were turned away before they reached you. There are attacks that never landed because they were intercepted. There are battles you never had to fight because they ended before they began. There are paths you were diverted from because they would have led to harm. You call these coincidences, lucky escapes, sudden changes of plan. But they were acts of protection. Not everything is meant to be seen for you to know it is real. Some of the greatest shields ever placed around you were the ones you never saw, heard, or understood. Protection does not always announce itself. It works silently, decisively, and with precision. It knows what you cannot know. It sees what you cannot see. It understands the movements of things, both physical and spiritual, long before they cross your path. That is why you can move forward even when uncertainty tries to surround you. You do not walk unprotected. You do not face the unknown alone. You are held in a realm that does not falter, slip, or forget you. This unseen protection is deeply intelligent. It is not random or reactive. It is intentional and proactive. It anticipates threats before you perceive them. It prepares solutions before problems rise. It strengthens you before challenges reveal themselves. It positions people in your life at the exact moment you need them. It removes individuals who would hinder your progress or inflict harm. It orchestrates detours that lead you away from danger and into alignment. Even the missteps you think were failures were often rerouted to safeguard you from consequences you were not meant to face. Sometimes this protection comes in the form of inner warnings. Those quiet intuitions that whisper, "Don't go there," or "something isn't right." Sometimes it comes as unease, a tension in your spirit that alerts you to what your eyes cannot yet detect. that is protection speaking to you from within. At other times, protection arrives through external disruptions, canceled plans, unexpected delays, sudden closures, opportunities that slip away at the last moment. These moments may frustrate you at first, but if you could see what was avoided on your behalf, you would give thanks for every closed door. There is a profound grace in being shielded from what you are not meant to endure. This does not mean you will never face challenges. Every life includes its share of trials, but it means you will not face unnecessary harm. You will not be left defenseless. You will not be abandoned to the intentions of those who wish you ill, or the uncertainties that try to unsettle you. Even in your hardest seasons, you are surrounded. This protection also ensures that the battles meant for your strengthening do not become battles meant for your destruction. You are never placed in situations you lack the ability to endure. Even in difficulty, there is a boundary around how far the storm can reach. You may feel the weight of the wind, but you will not be blown away. You may hear the roar of the waves, but you will not drown. You may be pressed, but you will not be shattered. There are limitations set around every trial, limitations designed to make you stronger, never to break you. The unseen realm is not silent. It moves constantly in your favor, adjusting circumstances, shifting atmospheres, and aligning events so that your path remains protected. You are watched when you sleep, guided when you rise, and shielded as you walk through each day. Even when you forget the presence around you, it does not forget you. Even when you doubt, the protection does not waver. Even when you feel unworthy of such care, it remains consistent. But there is more. Protection does not only defend, it also empowers. Knowing you are surrounded frees you from the fear that would paralyze you. Fear thrives in the illusion of isolation. It tells you that you are vulnerable, unsupported, exposed. But when you understand that you are accompanied by a presence stronger than any threat, fear begins to lose its grip. You step forward with greater confidence, because you know you are not stepping alone. You take risks aligned with your purpose, because you trust that you are being watched over. You face change with courage, because you understand that protection is not behind you, it is with you in every moment. This awareness also brings peace, not a fragile peace dependent on circumstances, but a deep, steady peace that rises from trust. You no longer need to control everything. You no longer need to anticipate every danger or prepare for every possible outcome. You can rest in the knowledge that there is a shield around your life that does not sleep. This peace is not naive, it is rooted in truth. It is the calm that comes from knowing you are held by something greater than yourself. In moments when you feel weak or overwhelmed, protection surrounds you more tightly. When you feel lost, it illuminates the path. When you feel confused, it guides your steps. When you stumble, it steadies you. When you are weary, it lifts you. You are never left to navigate the world by your own strength alone. The unseen realm carries you through what your natural strength could not. There will be times when you sense this presence clearly, moments of sudden reassurance, moments of unexpected peace, moments where you feel supported in ways you cannot explain. But even in times when you feel nothing at all, the protection remains. Feelings are temporary. Truth is not. You may not always perceive the shield, but the shield remains. So as you face what comes, whether certainty or mystery, peace or challenge, clarity or darkness, remember this: you do not face it unguarded. You are surrounded by a presence that does not break, bend, or abandon. A presence that knows your path, equips your steps, and shields your purpose. A presence that stands between you and every force that would try to overthrow the destiny written for you. You are not alone. You have never been alone, and you will never be alone. Darkness at your doorstep cannot overpower the light within you. This truth stands firm regardless of what form the darkness takes. Fear, confusion, loss, betrayal, uncertainty, or any circumstance that attempts to cloud your clarity. Light does not negotiate with darkness. It overcomes it by its very nature. Darkness is not a force that can consume you unless you surrender your inner radiance. And that radiance, the light that has been placed within you, is far stronger, far older, and far more enduring than anything that tries to dim it. There is a misconception many carry, that darkness is something external, powerful, and overwhelming, while light is fragile and easily extinguished. But this is not true. Darkness has no substance of its own. It exists only where light is not present. The moment light appears, even in the smallest amount, darkness retreats. A single flame can break miles of night. A single spark can defy the void. A single conscious moment of clarity can disrupt a storm of confusion. This is the nature of the light within you. Steady, resilient, undefeatable. When darkness stands at your doorstep, it often comes disguised as situations meant to intimidate you. It may present itself as unexpected challenges, the weight of uncertainty, overwhelming thoughts, or emotional turbulence. It might appear as circumstances that shake the foundation of what you believe to be secure. Yet the presence of darkness does not indicate the absence of light. It reveals the opportunity for your light to demonstrate its strength. Each encounter with darkness is not a threat to your spirit, but a stage for your inner brilliance to expand. People often fear darkness because they forget what they carry. They forget that their inner light was forged by higher hands. It is not a candle flickering in the wind. It is a flame set by the divine, one that cannot be extinguished by external forces. Your light was placed within you to guide, to protect, to illuminate, and to overcome. It is not dependent on circumstance. It does not shrink because shadows fall. It does not disappear because challenges rise. Light remains light, and your light remains your power. Darkness will attempt to deceive you into believing it has the advantage. It whispers that you are outmatched, unsupported, or unprepared. It magnifies its presence in an attempt to make you forget who you are. But darkness is only intimidating when it tricks you into believing that it holds power over you. The truth is, darkness only gains influence when you allow fear to dim your awareness of your inner strength. And even then, the light within you never actually disappears. It only becomes obscured in your perception. One moment of returning to truth is enough to reignite your confidence. The light inside you is not merely emotional positivity. It is a spiritual force. It is the essence of your identity, the echo of something greater working within you. It is clarity, intuition, resilience, faith, courage, and divine guidance, all woven into the very core of your being. When darkness appears, this inner force rises to meet it. You may feel shaken, but that does not mean you are defeated. You may feel uncertain, but that does not mean you are directionless. You may feel weary, but that does not mean your spirit is weak. Your light remains intact even when your emotions falter. And it is important to understand, darkness at your door does not arrive to consume you. It arrives because your light is significant. Light attracts both seekers and challengers. The very presence of darkness is often a sign that your energy is shifting, your purpose is expanding, your identity is strengthening. Darkness tests the authenticity of your radiance, but it cannot overcome it. The fact that darkness has shown up means you are standing at a threshold of growth. You are about to step into a greater measure of who you are. When darkness pushes against you, your role is not to fear, but to stand. Stand in truth. Stand in clarity. Stand in the awareness of what you carry. You do not fight darkness by wrestling with it. You defeat it by shining. Your thoughts, your choices, your words, your spirit, they are lanterns. You illuminate your path by refusing to shrink. You conquer by staying aligned with what is true, not with what is trying to confuse you. There will be moments when the darkness feels heavy, when you may question your strength. But even in those moments, your light does not fail. Think back to every season you thought would break you. You are still here. You survived nights that felt endless. You navigated challenges you once believed were too great. You rose from situations that tried to bury you. That was not weakness. That was the fire within you burning too brightly to be extinguished. The darkness you faced before could not defeat you. And the darkness at your door now will meet the same fate. Your light grows through adversity. Every time you push through uncertainty, your flame strengthens. Every time you choose hope in the face of fear, your radiance expands. Every time you trust when circumstances seem unclear, your inner fire intensifies. Darkness does not diminish your light, it refines it. It gives your spirit the opportunity to demonstrate its strength. There is a divine assurance woven through every moment of darkness. You are not alone in the battle. The light within you is connected to a greater source, a higher power that sustains you. You do not shine by your own strength alone. You shine because you were designed to shine. You shine because light is your nature, not your effort. And no amount of external shadow can rewrite what you were created to be. So when darkness approaches, do not tremble. Stand in your truth. Your light has overcome more than you remember. It will overcome this as well. Darkness may appear bold, but it always loses to those who remember who they are. And you are not a vessel meant to be dimmed. You are a beacon. You are a flame. You are a force of illumination walking through a world that needs exactly what you carry. Darkness at your door is not a prophecy of defeat. It is an opportunity for your inner radiance to reveal its strength again. The light within you is ancient, powerful, and unconquerable. No shadow can overpower what is divinely placed within you. You are, and will always be, brighter than whatever tries to stand against you. This moment is not a threat, it is your awakening. These words hold a profound shift in perspective, one that transforms how you face abrupt change, unexpected challenges, or mysterious events that appear at the doorstep of your life. Human instinct often interprets the unknown as danger, discomfort as punishment, and disruption as loss. But the deeper truth is that awakening rarely arrives through gentle whispers. It arrives through moments that shake, stretch, and stir your spirit out of its familiar patterns. Awakening is the process of becoming more than who you were yesterday. It is the unveiling of hidden strength, the elevation of perception, the sharpening of intuition, and the unfolding of purpose. But awakening does not happen in stillness alone. It happens when something in your life demands that you rise. When circumstances press you toward clarity, toward courage, toward remembering your identity and your power. The moment before you now is one such moment. It is not meant to harm you, it is meant to call you forward. Awakening begins when you stop interpreting everything unfamiliar as danger. Not every shake is a warning. Some shakes are a summons. Some disruptions are actually invitations. Some endings are beginnings in disguise. And some uncertain moments are catalysts meant to awaken the deeper dimensions of who you are. Growth often comes hidden inside situations that appear chaotic, but chaos is simply the rearranging of what no longer fits the version of you that is emerging. This moment, whatever form it takes, has been permitted into your life because you have reached the threshold of a new level. You may not have recognized it yet, but the stirring inside you, the restlessness, the desire for more, the dissatisfaction with stagnation, has been preparing you for this arrival. Awakening is not random, it is timed with divine precision. When the soul is ready to expand, life introduces the experience that will ignite that expansion. Many fear awakening because it challenges the comfort of familiarity. It asks you to look beyond what you have accepted. It asks you to face truths you may have avoided. It asks you to trust the path even when you cannot trace it. Awakening is not always comfortable, but it is always liberating. It breaks illusions. It breaks patterns. It breaks limitations you once believed were immovable. It reveals capacity you did not know you had. It strengthens what once felt fragile. It clarifies what once seemed confusing. This moment is the threshold between who you have been and who you are becoming. And thresholds are rarely gentle. They are moments of tension, where old identities loosen their grip and new identities emerge. You may feel the pull of confusion, as if the ground beneath you is shifting. But this shifting is not collapse, it is transformation. It is the rearranging of your inner architecture so that you can stand taller, think clearer, and walk forward with a deeper sense of purpose. Awakening also requires confrontation, not with others, but with yourself. You must confront the doubts that told you were too small, the fears that whispered you were unprepared, the beliefs that claimed you were not capable of more. These limitations were never your truth. They were weights you carried because you did not yet know your strength. This moment is the invitation to release them, to step out of the old mental structures that confined you, to see yourself with the clarity that has always existed within your spirit. The journey ahead is not about surviving what comes, but about rising through it. Awakening gives you new eyes. You begin to see meaning where you once saw chaos. You begin to see opportunity where you once saw obstacles. You begin to see your own resilience where you once saw fragility. Every experience becomes a teacher. Every challenge becomes a tool. Every unexpected moment becomes a doorway that leads you deeper into alignment with your purpose. This moment carries the potential to reintroduce you to yourself, to remind you of the strength you forgot, to revive the courage you buried under discouragement, to reignite the fire that dimmed when life grew heavy. Awakening is a process of remembering your power, your worth, your calling, your identity. It is not about becoming someone new. It is about shedding everything that kept you from seeing who you already are. You may feel fear, but fear is not your enemy. Fear signals that you are stepping into a realm larger than your comfort zone. Fear is not a sign to retreat. It is a sign that your spirit is expanding. Every significant shift in your life will be accompanied by fear, but that fear is temporary. What emerges on the other side of the fear is strength, clarity, and a deeper connection to your destiny. Awakening demands trust. Trust in the process. Trust in the timing. Trust in the unseen guidance that has led you to this moment. You have not arrived here by accident. Every step, every detour, every delay has positioned you perfectly for this awakening. You are not unprepared. You are primed. You are not unsupported. You are surrounded. You are not stepping into emptiness. You are stepping into expansion. As you embrace this moment, something powerful happens internally. Your perspective shifts. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" you begin to ask, "What is this awakening within me?" That single shift transforms fear into curiosity, confusion into revelation, resistance into acceptance. Awakening is not a sudden event. It is a gentle unfolding. It happens layer by layer, moment by moment, realization by realization. This moment is not here to diminish you. It is here to elevate you. It is here to challenge the limits you placed on your own potential. It is here to shake loose the complacency that kept you from stepping into your full power. It is here to awaken the part of you that has been asleep, waiting for the right moment to rise. When you look back, you will see that this was the moment everything changed. Not because circumstances shifted immediately, but because you shifted. Your awareness expanded, your understanding deepened, your spirit awakened, and once the spirit awakens, nothing can return to the way it was. This moment is not a threat, it is a calling. It is not darkness, it is dawn. It is not the end, it is the beginning of the next, stronger, wiser, more luminous chapter of who you are becoming.